this Saturday night. My name's Jimmy. Hanging by a thread. I'm about to lean back 33 degrees and chill. It's the supreme order of magnitude. Shh.
Oh, we'd be so good together if we had the time. Be alone is a nowhere state of mind. Ooh, loving ain't no crime. Oh no. See, your man ain't here. He don't care. waiting for the night to come. Ooh, baby. In the still of the night, in the cool moonlight, I feel my heart is aching. In the still of the night.
Rio, in the still of the night, there's wolves sniffing around at your back door.
Oh.
White snake.
Feel your body in the still of the night.
All right, there they go, White Snake. Now listen, you know, I was kicking it earlier, okay, and I remembered a band of guys that was playing shows at the same time I was up here, and they were sort of our competition. You know, we were about the same level of audience. You know, when we played gigs or whatever, there'd be a bunch of people. So I got one of their records up here. I'm going to play some of it in a minute. But while I was scrolling through some of these metal bands from back in the day, I remembered Armored Saint. Remember them?
Mm-hmm.
March of the Saint.
Yeah, yeah.
That kicked ass, didn't it? There was a bunch of really good metal bands back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, back then people played their instruments, so.
That's what I mean. There were so many, though.
Yeah,
there was
a lot.
There was, man. It was hard to even
the
get.
middle of the 80s was like the peak. I think.
Well, one of the times during the 80s, there was, we had at the Keystone, we had this thing called Metal Monday. And there was a radio station called KOME. up here. And on that station, they had this guy called The Killer. And on Monday nights, The Killer would promote a show at the Keystone. It'd be Metal Mondays. So then all these metal bands would come through there, LA bands, stuff like that. Would come through there. Everybody came through there. Wasp, everybody, all these bands came through there. But one of the ones that came to mind was the Macaulay Shanker group, MSG. When they came through there. And everybody back in the day, I mean, from a metal perspective, people call out the name Shanker. Don't they? Are you there? I can barely hear you.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. All right, now I hear you. All right, yeah, no. Where's Epic? Is he here?
I haven't seen him yet.
See if he's, I think he might be in the chat room over here. I thought he was on the call. You get him in here because I'm sure he wants to chime in on some of this.
Yeah, I'll see if
he's probably already
the journeyman.
He's probably already leaning back thinking about Connie Catane or whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah, Tawny Catane. Yeah. Rolling around on that nice white Jaguar.
Yeah, the white Jag. All right. Back in the day, the Jag was the status, but now it's the Maybach.
Oh, yeah.
Epic's over there. I'm here as usual. All right, but listen. So back to what I was saying before I went on the red herring of getting Epic hooked up.
I told you I was just working on a Maybach, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why I brought it up. It was a callback.
I thought you just happened to
No.
Come up. Okay.
No, but I mean, it's an example. That's like a $300,000 car or whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to what I was saying. So out of all the people, the metal people that came through there, the one dude that stuck out to me the most, and not only because he's one of the greatest metal guitar players now, so it's Rudolf Schenker and Michael Schenker. And Rudolf Schenker plays with the Scorpions, right?
Yes.
I think Rudolph plays with the Scorpions.
Right.
But anyways.
Rudy plays with the Scorpions, and then Michael was... He did a bunch of... He was in a couple bands.
So the Macaulay Shanker group's the one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he came through there, okay, out of all the bands, like I'm saying, I saw many, many bands, not just metal bands, but all types of musicians. But he was the only dude that I ever saw. The whole time he was there before he went on stage, all he was doing was playing his guitar. He's playing scales. He's walking around. And back then, there wasn't technology, So when you had, remember those Rockmans or whatever? Mm-hmm. You plug your guitar into this little thing that was like a small box, was it like an amp?
Yeah,
remember those?
I have one of them somewhere.
Yeah. Well, he had one of those. He's just walking around. Even that dude from Wasp, when he came in there, me and Brian were talking to him, and he was telling us this story about Schenker in Los Angeles, and him and Schenker going to get some case of beer and some 9/11 or something. He's telling us this story. Anyways, Schenker, all he did was walk back and forth and play. So earlier today, as I was scrolling, I had to give you all the background. I found a Macaulay Shanker group acoustic version, high quality of Anytime. And so, without further ado, let's check it out. Eh? Ready? Here's Michael Schenker.
Blow a kiss from your hand. I'll catch it for it hits the ground. Cry a little for our fears, baby. I'm so
know what I'm saying? Seriously.
Yeah.
No, come on, man.
Oh, he's good.
I'm just
Very
saying.
good.
I'm just saying. There they go. I mean, that's, to me, I'm not sure where this came from, because when I'm hearing that vocal,
Mm-hmm.
that vocal, it sounds too much like the original vocal. It's almost like,
Well, they were all good, so for him to be able to hit that.
I don't know, man. All the way here. When did this come out? The only reason 9 years ago was this was put up here. But anyways, the point being is, it seems like, I don't even know if because it seems.
I mean, it could be a studio take, like an alternate, an alternate mix kind of
I'm
thing.
just saying, what if Shanker just went? Shanker was just kicking it at his house one day by the pool. And he's like, you know what? Or he's German. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do an acoustic version of this song. And he just went down and cut it or whatever,
Yeah, could have.
They just took out the drums. I don't know, man. I was listening to that. Listen to this. Because I'm just saying, when you're Shanker and you're getting older, you're not jumping around, playing metal. You're kicking it, with some guitar you found somewhere. Just playing some flamenco somewhere. Eating chili peppers. Did Epic Journeyman ever make it to the...
Yes, I have summoned the journeyman.
Has he arrived?
No, I'm here. I'm actually I'm conversing with these guys who want to go windsurfing, and it's like, well, I was telling the tale of my sad introduction into surfing on the wrong part of the beach, just surfing. But yeah, no, windsurfing here in Maui, like it's amazing. The World Championships are here, and a lot of years, and yeah, those guys catch 30, 40 feet of air. It's something else, man. I mean, it's definitely worth checking out.
You know what they do over here? They do this shit called kite surfing.
No, that's what he was talking about, is kite surfing. Yeah.
Nah, they do it right here.
Yeah.
There's some beaches. See, that's the thing about Northern California beaches. It's not Northern California beaches, Epic Journeyman, I'm sure you're aware. Rio doesn't know, but a lot of people might. A lot of people have this idea that, California is just like every other, all one thing. And it's different.
No, they got great waves in certain parts of California.
And plus, it's different climates. Down in Southern California, if you're down in Los Angeles, it's pretty much 70 degrees every day. It doesn't rain, and there's no wind. It was pretty much, unless the Santa Anas come up. But up here in Northern California, it's different. Same thing is the water. When you go in the water at the beach down in San Diego, you can sit there and go swimming and go surfing, have a good time. Up here, water is freezing cold, and I don't care what time of the year it is. If you go in there in the summer, you got to really want to be, go in there because it's cold. So, anyways, point is, there's beaches up in here. They're beautiful, but you're not going to be sitting there laying there because it's windy, and they got these kite surfers on there. I should go find some video of these kite surfers. So you got kite surfing going on there too, right? Epic Journeyman? Kite surfing all over.
Yeah. I was trying to get. I lowered the window down below the bar, the taskbar. Yeah. So absolutely, and it's hell of a. I mean, right across the street, right here, right across the street from you guys. Go kite surfing all the time out there, and it's pretty amazing. They get really fast, and sometimes you got to worry about them because if you go the wrong direction, you're gonna end up on Molokai.
It's crazy
because
shit, man.
Because you can't paddle back because if you get caught in the current. Now, you watch these guys sometimes that come here to visit and do that. Like I'm talking specifically about where I live, and you're thinking, do they know right about the current out there?
No.
Yeah, it looks all good, right? But you go a little bit wrong side of it, man. You're on your way. See you in Molokai, man. See you.
That's what I mean, man. You're gonna go do anything. You better sit there for like a week and watch everybody else before you go.
Well, that was my story. I was telling us how I was surfing in Paia, which you're not supposed to really surf there, right? And because it's got a shore break, right? And years ago, I gave up because I scraped my eyebrow off. I freaking knocked my teeth loose.
A shore break or a beach
when
break?
I was trying to press this Brazilian girl. Yeah, it was bad.
Is it a shore break or a beach break?
Well, Right, it's actually right on the beach, right? So basically,
Yeah,
the reef is right there. So the wave, the wave starts too close to shore, right, and then it drops right on the, it hits the beach, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And,
then
if you're far enough away from where it actually does that, it's okay because it's a cool wave. You
it
catch the
sucks
shore.
up everything because there's one in San Diego. It's called Marine Street. You might even know about it.
Yeah, I absolutely know that. Good
All right, so the beach goes down on a supreme angle. And the waves come in and the backwash comes back. And so when the wave that's coming in, the backwash gets into the wave and the wave just turns into this giant, like,
the turbine. Yeah.
and you ride it. And then right before you face plant, you tuck your head. Is how it goes. But there's a lot of dudes that get stuck in the sand and shit there.
Yeah. So there's a reef here and all the broken pieces of the reef, like, it's just these broken pieces of reef, right? That are like hard, calcium deposits. And they're spinning that little turbine effect that I'm talking about. And so when you go off the wrong way and you get caught in that, you go straight down and face first right into it and get caught right in it. Yeah, it's awful. It's like, it's never do that again.
I know. It's like when you're young or whatever, you just do that. You go to that.
Yeah.
I used to go to Marine Street all the time.
Cool, man. Yeah,
I used to go to Marine Street all the time just to get, in those situations. All right, listen.
It's a good place to dive. Yeah.
So listen, Rio, epic. Here's Damage. Now, their album came out in 86. It's called Mutiny. All right? Ready? All right, here we go. Damage.
So
Man, this is just one song, right? The two brothers, they both played Flying V's, dude. I mean, there's some serious double leads going on right there, man. Check that shit out, boy. What do you think, Rio? Give me the Rockin' Rio metal
Yeah, it was good.
rating.
It was good.
Now, what about you, Epic? Were you banging your head over there? Did you knock your sunglasses off? Well, because you were
I
rocking
was
so
about
hard.
to reach for my guitar, and then I realized I don't really play metal music. I was just playing the Old Man Down the Road before the show. I'm like, oh well, I'm in the bluesy mode, I guess, right now.
All right. Well,
Yeah, that
listen,
sounds good.
well, listen. How about this? I'm going to give you just a little bit more here before we go, because Rock Rio, you got a Pyramid Sevens here, Matt's here, Ronan's here, Karen's here, Hyatt's here over here in the chat room. There's a bunch of people here. All right, so listen. Did you have a chance to look into this McMahon appointment? Because there's a really weird synchronicity with the other guy that Trump picked. Because Charlie Robinson did a show about this guy living next door to Epstein.
Uh-oh.
This Lutkin, the Lutkin guy, whatever how
Lufkin, yeah.
he lived next door to. Listen to this. One of them's address was number 9, and the other one's address was number 11.
Awesome. There's Central Park, right? That's Central Park Estates. Yeah. And down the road is Guelwin Gui. Yeah. I mean, all right there.
No, man. I want people to hear what I'm saying. Okay? He picked a pharmaceutical lobbyist for his chief of staff. RFK is out. And his transition team is a guy that lived next door to Epstein.
And
the wife,
they're right next door to each other. Yeah.
And the wife of. Now, what did you find out about McMahon or whatever that McMahon or what? How do you say this guy's name?
McMahon, yeah, Vince McMahon's wife. So it's pretty interesting. When we first mentioned last night, I'd heard that he gave a woman gave a woman the chief of staff job, and I thought it was McMahon, but it wasn't. It was actually Susie Wiles, right? But it's just as interesting because between the two of them, so she's running the transition team, McMahon, and then Susie Wiles is going to be the chief of staff, and she's the daughter of Pat Summerall. So here you have the husband of Vince McMahon, the WWE, WWF phenom, right? That started that whole thing. And she was actually the person who promoted and got it started. So McMahon, this is the transition team leader. She actually was the person who actually was behind the scenes that got Vince McMahon at WWF, WWE to be mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And get promoted so well. And then Susie Wiles is a lobbyist that is the daughter of Pat Summerall from Monday Night Football, the place kicker, host, right?
Listen.
And the Kemp campaign. And the thing is, she's a lobbyist for, the tobacco industry and all these terrible chemical companies and, that do all the terrible food additives that we're all talking about.
So
the very antithesis of what
RFK is out.
Talking about.
RFK is out. So
100%.
listen.
Now, did he leave on his own, or did Trump just dump him?
No, he just gave him a diminished position where he's going to be like an advisor kind of thing. He's not a cabinet position.
All right, listen.
Well,
there's a bunch.
I thought that was kind of the plan in the first place, though.
Listen.
Well, but now he's kind of like distance himself.
There's a bunch of people over here in the chat room. Listen, Matt's over here. Matt and a bunch of people were saying what a great show it was last night. Complimenting both of you guys. Pyramid Sevens over here. Early Girls over here. Zero.
Salty Joe made it easy last night.
Amber is over. Everybody's over here. So, welcome everybody. Now, listen, before we start getting into this, now, Rio, did you take a look? Because last night we got into this Elon Musk creating a porthole in his room and his babysitter and it was the whole babysitter thing going on at the end of the show.
Well, not in the babysitter. That'd be kind of kinky. But
Get off the babysitter. Pull up your pants and get off the babysitter.
Right.
So listen, did you have a chance to? I mean, now for some reason, and it's coincidental. Hey, Rick, hang on a second. Something happened to Rick here. For some reason, now all of a sudden, there's this campaign specifically against Elon Musk now. And it's happening, it just happens to be happening right now while we were planning on talking about it. But today, I think today is the day that this campaign is going to kick into overdrive.
And what is this campaign against Elon?
Yeah,
suddenly?
There's no one, it's just negativity.
Oh, well, I mean,
Hey, Carrie, what's up?
The man summons demons, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, so.
And he's gone dark MAGA. Like.
Hang on a second. Long Bonga is over here. So, did you have a chance to examine him in any kind of way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I did. I came up with some stuff. I don't really have anything as far as preparation for tonight, but I do have stuff to work on for, beating him up a little bit, because the audio to babysitter thing was, it was pretty low quality, and there was some stuff in there, but it's hard to hear. It's not.
So we can just move.
It's not great, but I went back and I took a look at that MIT aerospace thing he did, and that's 10 years ago already, like almost exactly 10 years ago, a little, just slightly over, in 2014, where he made the summoning the demon content about the AI thing. And even that particular line, and as he's answering questions, he's talking about opening portals and summoning demons. So I got something there, but I need more time to put it together. I ended up passing out about 4 o'clock.
I didn't want to.
Woke up 5 minutes before the show.
I didn't want to unleash the Epic Journeyman about this World Wrestling Federation thing, because, I mean, even during the convention, when this whole like vibe with the Kid Rock, and anyways, so without Epic, now I didn't, all this time that I've known Epic, and I'm going to ask you, Rio, because I don't think you know this either. He's just said he's got a 71 Les Paul over there. Did you know he had a 71 Les Paul?
Who's that, Epic?
Mm-hmm.
Because 71. No, I did not.
I didn't either.
I mean, he may have
because
told me at some point in the
the
past.
only guitar he ever talked about was his Schecter, but he never talked about his 71 Les Paul.
Yeah.
So I got a badass. I got one of the 80s Schecters. It's called the Orange.
I don't have a. I don't have a Schecter.
How come Epic's not busting in? How come I don't hear him?
Because I was too busy jamming. No, I was jamming.
No, I couldn't hear you. All right, listen.
No, but yeah, the 71 Les Paul, like that video such as it is on YouTube, that's what the 71 Les Paul. Wax.
You don't have one, or you do?
No, I do. It's,
Okay.
it's behind me right now. Yeah.
Is it a custom, or what is it?
No, it's a Les Paul Standard Sunburst.
Standard.
It's a smoky looking one. It's one that has the kind of dark outside ring and the kind of amber inside ring. It's a sunburst, not the bright sunburst. It's the amber sunburst, or what I forget to call it, the model. But yeah, no, it's great. The pickups are fantastic. That's the best thing about it is the pickups. It's not so much. It's too heavy to like play all day. It really is. But the pickups are fantastic, especially with certain effects. Right, like
Well,
it's really meaty.
You got to stand up and play all day, because you got to. If you want to play Les Paul, then you got to stand up and play, man.
You can't. You can't sit down and play Les Paul. Really.
No, I'm just saying you better
can,
stand up. Is all I'm saying, right, Rio?
Yeah, but when you stand up, that 14-pound guitar hanging off of you is.
That's what I
Starts
mean.
sweating about 40 after a while.
You
Yeah,
really,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. You really got to want to have the tone, man,
And Cooter calls it tobacco burst. That's right. That's what it is. Tobacco burst.
Yeah,
it
tobacco
looks like
burst.
it's stained with tobacco. It does. It has that look like it's been played.
That's actually what they were, is stained
Yeah.
with tobacco.
Yeah.
Brian Ray.
At least originally. But
Brian.
I don't have a Les Paul anymore. I owned one for a very short period of time, but it was too heavy. I couldn't take it.
Brian Ray bought a wine-colored Les Paul Custom
Oh, nice.
back in, I think it was 77. He still has it.
I've had so many guitars go through my hands, I couldn't even tell you.
Man, the tone on that guitar. You know, seriously.
My main now, I mean, I've got Fenders, I got hollow bodies, I got Kramer, stuff like that. But my main is the PV. I love the PV.
Yeah. That's the one you talk about.
I had a PV, I gave my PV away because the guy had to rescue me from my mom's house. As a neighbor who ended up being like a meth head back in the 80s. And my car broke down in Inkapah Pass.
Did you have a T60?
I forget what it's called. It had that smoky kind of tobacco look to it. Actually, it had the dark brown outside and the amber inside. It was from 1981. It came out in 81, and then I think it was single coil. I think it was only like a single pickup. I'm like a melody maker. The way it was. It was a melody maker. But anyway, the my car broke down, caught on fire, dude. And I had a call from the gas station at the top of Inkapah Pass on Highway 8, and this guy came over to tow me out with this van he just restored, and then as he's towing me down the trailer, the car's still up there. It's just towing the trailer down. It says towing a trailer, a small trailer from U-Haul, and he just put this engine in from a boat, and his van broke down, and the guy started freaking out because he's a meth head. I didn't know he was a meth head. He started threatening to shoot everybody. He took this little tiny 22 pistol, like this little 22 silver pistol, threatened to first he could kill himself. Right, and he's going to kill us, and he's going to kill himself again. I talked to him about it. I said, "Oh, hey, man, it's going to be okay, man. I just spent $400 doing this, or whatever, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Here, man, take my guitar." Right here. I only get $50 at a pawn shop. Like, well, don't sell at the pawn shop. Just, calm down, man. It'll be okay. Thanks for coming to get me, And anyway, I don't know whatever happened to that guy. He ended up like sleeping under the house for a while. It was like a dualplex unit, and upstairs and downstairs. And he ended up, I found cans and stuff under the house where he was living and sleeping under the house. Dude, yeah, wild story. But anyway, that guy. Yeah, sorry.
They kick ass, man. I wonder where Greg is. This shit kicked ass too back in the day. This shit was loud, man. There was lots of people. Man, that brings back memories, man. Seriously. Everybody's talking about the cars that they had that caught on fire.
Yeah, yeah, no, right. So, see, got me looking up these guitars now. It looks like it's like a T60. It's a T60, I think.
T60s were great, and actually they were pretty heavy guitar too. If you got the solid ash body, it was a pretty solid. It was a really solid, but it was nice because it was really resonant. Cooter mentioned in there that you could get the case that had built-in amplifier.
I didn't have that. It was a square case. It was like a checker case.
It was great, but it wasn't that great. Like it was kind of a cool thing to have that built-in amplifier. And the tone in the built-in amps was like, it was okay. I mean, it was cool if you were just going someplace because you could just plug in, but it wasn't the greatest.
1985. It was 1985. It's like a Navy Nate. That's what it was. 1985. Yeah, it's funny to look at example. I haven't seen it forever, right? Obviously, gave it to that guy,
dude.
Yeah.
So,
but I ended up I found when Eddie Van Halen went to PV, I got one of the very original Wolfgangs that he made with them, and I now have a couple of them because they're absolutely great. They're way better than the Fender ones. Yeah, if you're into a Van Halen guitar or just a great guitar in general, go for the PV Wolfgang. Don't get a Fender. It's got a much nicer neck, a way better tone than the Fenders had, and they stay in tune like nobody's business, man. You can beat on that thing for an hour, and it's like it doesn't move at all.
Yeah, I'm weird. I never liked Fenders. I tried to like them. There's just something about the neck I don't like. I mean, it feels like the strings cut you more too, if that makes sense. It just doesn't. I guess if you action set right, it'd be good. But I know David Gilmour, my favorite guitarist of all time. He loves his Fender Broadcaster.
Well, I have a Strat and a Shellmaster, and I actually prefer the Shellmaster to the Strat. It's it's a little heavier, but it's a little bit more resonant than the Strat, and it's got a slightly rounder neck, so it feels a little better than the Strat does.
The only Strat,
I like the pickup selector knob. That's cool.
The only Strats that I've ever had are been all like put together. They were never bought all in, it didn't come like that when it was like a neck from this and a body from that, like kind of thing.
No, I got the Shellmaster actually. I found it at a garage sale for $50. I was like, phew. And I was, that was a score and a half because that's a pretty expensive guitar, or at least it was. I mean, if you got the high end one, and which this is, so I mean, it was $1,000 guitar for $50.
That's great. Yeah, I bought a Guild bass for $50 out of the back of a taxi cab in Charleston, South Carolina, when I was stationed there on submarines, and I had that thing for years, man. And I ended up trading it because I ended up breaking the tuning knob and take it to the guitar shop, and it had a Ovation Slim Body. It was still a regular Ovation. It was pretty green a guitar, and I ended up trading it for that and getting that fixed for it. I kind of regret it because it's like, man, I wish I'd kept that bass. Actually, it was like
The bass I have a Kramer aluminum neck bass, which I also paid $50 and a dinner for.
I used to have one of those a long time ago.
But nice. I tell you what, it's like
you play bass. I mean, it's
the greatest bass, man.
I know those things sound killer.
Yeah, they're a little weird because the neck is heavy, so like the balance on them is a little strange. But
you remember
the tone is awesome.
You remember when people started playing the stick?
Oh yeah,
stick in the 80s.
Stick.
Yeah, stick. The one guitar I never had that I always wanted. I always wanted one of those Steinberger Trans-Trem guitars. Just because you can do neat sounds with them. But
do you guys
they're really hard to find now.
Have either of you two guys ever heard of the liquid tension experiment?
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, can't say that I have.
Well, one of the dudes in there he's the bass player, plays a stick. This shit kicks ass. Here, I'll dig something up real quick. Here, go ahead.
I always thought the stick was more like a gimmick than I don't know. Like there's so many things that were gimmicky in that era of music.
I know. I used to hate.
And some of them were great. Some
I
of
used to
them,
hate that
like
shit.
when the Floyd Rose tremolo came out. That ended up, once it got refined a little bit, ended up being one of the best systems.
I used to
the
just
same thing
hate
with the
shit
trans
like
trem
that,
on the
though, dude.
Steinbergers. That was kind of gimmicky, but it worked. It worked so well.
I know. But I used to, when something like that came out, like a stick, whatever, everybody rejected it. Like, what was those? Remember those Steinberger basses? What there were, there was no head.
Yeah. Well, that's what the trans trem guitar is, and the reason for no head is because you string the strings have balls on both ends. There's a specific string that you have to use with those guitars.
Yeah.
And the tremolo has like cams in it, and you have to adjust the cams. But the reason for no head is you tuned it at the tremolo, and kind of from behind the guitar. So the idea was that when you dive down with the bar, it sounds like a slide guitar almost, right? Because like with an open tuning, like the whole chord slides down evenly.
Yeah,
and
I know.
You get some really neat effects.
But people rejected it, man.
If you listen,
it didn't catch on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, it didn't catch. People, like, only certain dudes did, and it was always some.
Yeah.
It was always some like.
Avant-garde. It was
intense-
Chris Squire and Stanley Jordan, right? Didn't they play it for a while? I thought that's what they played, like in the late '80s.
Well, here,
mid
let
80s.
me-
no, there's a. I mean, I know Van Halen played one. What's his name? Randy Rhoads used it on one track.
Look
Yeah,
at
I'm
it-
talking the bass. Sorry, not the guitar one.
Listen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Listen.
bass. That's Chris Squire and Stanley Jordan. Van Halen did in the '85 or so, right? He played one. Too.
Yeah. It was on. It wasn't Little Guitars. It was on Fair Warning, I think. I could find it.
All right, listen. Let me bust in here with this liquid tension experiment. And Epic Journeyman, go over there and watch the video in your virtual reality. And watch this bass player, because he's got a stick in his hand, and he's about to wield his stick. Now, you'll recognize some of these players.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
No,
Gonna
seriously.
wield the stick, bro.
Seriously, you'll recognize these players, though. Think of Dream Theater, this Portnoy. This is a super group as far as progressive goes, and this is a pretty heavy song. Here we go, Liquid Tension Experiment from Los Angeles, 2008, Acid Rain. There they go. Liquid tension experiment.
Uh-huh. The stick.
I know. Well, see, the people don't realize the stick is the guitar and bass on the same instrument. So,
Yeah.
so like he was playing along with this guitar player. Plus, he was doing these bass lines. It's like one hand. You gotta.
It's funny because my friend
weird,
Lorenzo, he's a left-handed guitarist. He learned playing upside down, backwards guitars in Mexico, and he was a kid growing up in Mazatlan, right? He was poor, and it was like a big deal to work at McDonald's back then. Oh, you work at McDonald's? Have you met my daughter? Right, that kind of thing. He finally got to America back in this young kid, but he learned how to play that way, and he totally got into these kind of 9-string, 8-string guitars and stick and all that stuff. And ironically, and perhaps unironically, one of the songs, and several songs get into, is this one, these Nintendo adaptations of these old Nintendo songs. You get the heavy metal and these adaptations rather of Nintendo soundtracks, which are great for playing heavy metal. Actually, it turns out.
Oh yeah, A lot of people were into Nintendo tracks back then.
Yeah. So it's tripping me out because he's playing the 8-string, right? The guitarist is playing. Is it 8? Yeah, it's got the 8-string. The stick's like 11 or 12, right?
All right, listen.
So I don't know if you want to play it, but the trans trem shows up on the intro to Summer Nights.
Well, send me
5150 and then Pleasure Dome on.
Send me the link. Check it out. I will play it. Send me the link.
All right,
listen, hold on a second. Shh. Everybody, hold on a second. Let Jimmy talk for just 1 second. Just a minute. Just 1 minute. Just a little second. All right, listen, it's the top of the hour. Okay? It's time. I gotta go get some coffee right now. I don't know if you gotta get some coffee, but if you do, it might be a good time to do it. I'll play something. And then Rio, while I go away to get my coffee, you throw me those links. And then when I come back...
I'll throw you the first one right now.
All right. All right.
As soon as Skype opens.
No problem. See, I'm going to go ahead and do what I was about to do. Well, I don't even know what I was going to do. I was going to do something that I wasn't going to get hassled about. Oh, I don't remember what it was now.
Quantum perimeter check. I think that's where I'm going. Then I make sure we're not getting extra dimensional beings coming in. So I'll let you know how it goes.
I was going to do something, and now I can't find where I don't remember what window I saw it in. Anyways, it's got to be in this window.
You're getting coffee. That was the only thing we heard is you're getting coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. But I was about to play a song, and then I launched into this whole explanation, so that I could take those 3 minutes, and everybody can chill. When we come back, we'll get into the informational portion of our program. Epic Journeyman. We'll talk more about this appointment of this next door neighbor of Epstein. It just seems like it never ends. It's like 8 years of nothing but Trump. And now I thought, okay, no more Trump, but still, it's Trump. It never stops, man.
Someday. Although they might defeat death in this century, So we'll just have them forever. Possibility,
There goes Steve Vai. He's emotional. Huh? He's he's expressive.
He's expressive, but I always thought he was a bit of a wanker.
He is kind of a wanker.
He's wank.
He is kind of a
It's a nice
wanker.
transition he made there, though. It was. Yeah, he is. We used to be for sure, man. For sure.
I never liked him myself.
He was cocky.
What was that? What was that movie where the kid was playing the blues guitar and
Yeah, and he was the
Steve
devil.
Crossroads.
Crossroads, yeah. And the kid blew his doors off at the end.
Yeah,
It's based on a true
That
story.
scene made me happy.
that was Ralph Macchio, man.
Yeah, Ralph
Yeah.
Macchio. Yeah.
That's based on a true story, right? That I mean, it's a folklore story about what's the blues guitarist, famous. Oh gosh, man, not Django Reinhardt or those guys. The brother from Mississippi. His name is, I can't think of it. Man, it's gonna bother me. Yeah, that supposedly happened. He didn't know how to play guitar, and one day he came back being the best guitar player in the world, and he told this story about being at the Crossroads, and that's where the reference is for Eric
Robert
Clapton's
Johnson.
Crossroads.
That's
Robert Johnson. Yes, thank you. There you go. It's like, Jesus H. Christ, I can't remember this guy's name. It's like I don't remember who President Reagan was or something, right?
Yeah, well, there's a few people who went down to the Crossroads. You know, Robert
Yeah.
Johnson was the original, obviously, but Eric Clapton made the journey. Bob Dylan made that journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at the intersection of 66 and Highway 1, I believe.
Firestone tires are built for any terrain.
Firestone.
But the tires would go there.
They did.
Yeah.
You know.
They went there.
They went there.
No, that's true. This is all
You
true
know,
stuff.
is-
The people who don't know this folklore, we should probably do a show on this someday. This is real folklore.
Well, it's
real.
not. Hey, today
actually,
is someday.
we could
We do it
could
right now. We're doing it right now. Yeah.
we could do some Robert Johnson in reverse because that song Crossroads does have.
All right, let's do it. Here
It was one of the first. Yeah, it was one of the first.
With you, I play
Let's
as
do it
long
right
as
now.
you want.
You know, Rick, I didn't really want to do this because after Miss Solange got through with it, I couldn't find nothing else to do. But since I got you up here, we'll screw it up together.
We won't screw it up too bad.
All right. I wouldn't do it, and I won't do it if you say don't do it, but I thought she did it well. I had said that I wasn't going to do it no more. But I ain't like you guys. I ain't never had a 1 million copy seller, and that was it.
It's Richie Sambora.
You're sounding good to me. All right, then. Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away. Thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away. You done me wrong, baby. Gonna be sorry someday. Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away from me. Thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away from me. Although I was still alone, but so lonely. I'll be. You got it, Rick. Boy, that's how. Hey, Rick, that's how Stella got her groove. Thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away for good.
There he goes. There he goes, man.
You know, you can see Richie's playing there is the respect he's got for BB because even though he could have played a million notes or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
he
He
didn't.
didn't go up in the triplets like he might have normally.
Yeah,
right?
he didn't try to show him up. You know,
No.
like it, and you can tell like when guitar players respect other the legends like that. That
Yeah.
they don't do that.
No.
Right? They don't get up there and get saucy with them. They do their thing. They sound like them, but they don't push the envelope.
Amber met BB
They stay
King.
back a little bit for respect.
Amber in the chat says she met BB King in Dallas.
Yeah, I've met him a couple times. Actually, we did a Chicago Blues Fest years ago, and BB stood right in front of the stage for the whole set, and he gave us a thumbs up, and then came back around afterwards.
Yeah, I
and,
think you told me
Yeah.
about that once.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. Here comes Robert Johnson.
I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. Had the Lord above our mercy, say, poor Bob, if you please. Stand at the crossroads.
All right, Rock and Real. So now, do you want me to send you this, and then what are you gonna just run it in reverse on your end?
I might have it. If you give me a minute, I
No
I
problem.
might be able to
so
dig
what,
it up.
So what was the name of that movie? Hang on a second. All right, hang on a second. Let me see if I can get something here. Hang on a second. Here
All
we
right,
go.
I actually have a.
Here.
I have the Robert Johnson reversed.
Okay, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. I got something coming right now. So hang on a second. Let me ditch this screen here. Let me get rid of this fucker. Hold on. That's gone. Hold on. Let me put another one in there real quick. We'll just do the storyline of the whole reason for the deal with the devil right now before you do that. Let's see if we can get away with this scene. Now, I may stop this in and out just so we can talk about it. So, because they don't...
Fair use. Fair use.
They're fucked with movie clips in here. All right, so we'll see what happens. If I start getting warnings, then I'm going to stop it and we can just discuss or whatever for a minute or two. Even though it's better to just...
We went down to the crossroads. That's where Robert Johnson made his deal with the devil.
You read about it?
Yeah, they have tons of books on blues folklore and things.
Oh, give me that folklore shit. It happened. Now, that's where Robert made his deal, and after he told me about it, that's where I made mine.
Shame on you, Willie Brown, traveling all the way back down home as if you had a chance. Ain't got no chance, blind dog. You sold your soul. You going down, all the way down. Hellhounds on your trail, boy. Hellhounds on your trail.
Somewhere around here, there's a real special place. A crossroads. You know the language I'm talking. I need to get back to the crossroads.
You looking for me, Willie Brown? Been a long time, hasn't it, Willie?
Yes, it has.
Wait, what's going on here?
Yes, sir, been a long time. You were about 17 last time we saw each other. One night on this old crossroads, wasn't it? What can I do for you, Willie Brown?
I come to see you
tell you the deal's off. Oh, no. According to this here piece of paper, the deal's still on. You can tear that up and give me some peace. Why on earth would I want to do that? Of course, you had something to offer me. I got a couple of $100. Ain't interested in your money, you know that. How about cutting heads?
Oh, I get it. You want some kind of contest, huh?
You're a real smart boy, ain't you? Well, smart boy, I got a big white fella from Memphis made a deal with me a few years back. Real good guitar player, named Jack Butler. Cuts heads every Saturday night, yes, sir. He discourages a lot of up-and-coming boys.
Yeah, but Willie doesn't even play guitar.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Ain't that too bad? Guess there ain't much hope at all for Willie Brown. Unless you might want to sit in for him. Don't do it.
Sure, he's my friend. I don't believe in any of this shit anyway.
I say don't do it, Lightning. You win?
He don't believe in this shit anyway. Hey?
Yeah, we can stop there and discuss a little bit because probably it's a good point to do it. You know, I was thinking about this. We talked about it a couple of weeks back about how there's sayings that that have vanished from the vernacular that were really popular back in the day. But it doesn't matter if it's a 60s fad, a hula hoop fad, whatever it might have been back in the day, right? 50s thing. But it was really common back in the day. And it was inspired by a popular film or whatever. And that line right there was really popular in the 80s, into the early 90s, right? Hellhounds on your tail, boy. Hellhounds on your tail. I used to hear that all the time. I haven't heard that in decades, right? But it was popular because of this movie. This movie popularized that. And it was something, it's like, where's the beef, right? It's the same kind of thing. So they caught on. And we talk about social contagions all the time. It's what it is, right? But it's interesting because, vanished from vernacular. And not only that, but people forgot about this movie. And this movie is actually, I dare say, a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It is.
Yeah. It's a good movie. There's the guitar scene. The guitar scene is Steve Vai as the devil, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Hang on a second. Let me see.
Is champion, right? Yeah, playing the guitar.
Hold on.
Devil Went Down Georgia role, basically.
Yeah, exactly. You guys don't want to hear the devil went down to Georgia, do you?
No.
Okay.
We all know that,
I hate
right?
that song.
This is better.
The devil went down to Georgia looking for soul to steal. He was in a bind because he's really behind, looking to make a deal. He said, if you play a pretty good fiddle, boy, give the devil his due. I'll bet fiddle gold against your soul that says I'm better than you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
there you go. Now we heard it.
Don't make me.
There it is.
Don't make me do it. Here, listen.
Don't do it.
Listen.
You got it.
Listen to this instead. He ain't singing for Pepsi. He ain't singing for Coke. Remember Spuds? That's why I thought of this song immediately, because you were talking about stuff that was popular. Remember Spuds?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Mackenzie, yeah.
You remember, I mean, that was like as ridiculous as it is, man. All those ads with Spuds going here, going there, beach partying. It's like riding skateboards. What the fuck? What didn't Spuds do? Spuds went everywhere. He had limos. He was in the hot tub. You know what I mean?
Oh, he did it all, man. Bryce wasn't an astronaut. He should have been an astronaut. Oh, man.
Ain't singing for Pepsi. Ain't singing for Coke.
See, I can't even play this song. It sucks. I wish I could. They're gonna make me take it out if I play
That's
it.
terrible. Why? I know why, but it still cracks me up.
It's just for some reason, fucking Neil Young. Any Neil Young can't have it on here.
Is it because it's Canadian? I bet it is. I bet it has something to do with
it's
that.
like it cannot be seen or heard on my channel. So it's under. So no matter what I do, it's under the impression I'm showing you the video. So even if I say it's not seen, it doesn't matter. It cannot be heard. It cannot be seen nor heard. And then I'll have to sit here and wait for it to go away because I got to sit there and go through this whole process.
He's the original Lookout Mountain guy with Joni Mitchell, man.
I mean, it's so ridiculous.
Man. Yeah.
It's like, seriously, I can understand it on the level of like in the old days when there's radios and stuff. People are playing your song and you're getting a little bit of money coming in back then. Because, like, you know, as you progress in your life and you get older, you're just kicking back, you know, making money every time your shit gets played somewhere in the world. But that ain't the world we're living in anymore. So you got to get off that tit when you say.
It is odd that those Laurel Canyon artists, right? The people who were put up there, and by put up there, I don't mean they were put up there like, they were literally put up there, as we say. They were put up there, right, to keep them isolated by the record companies, and the people they were associated with were brought up there too. It was hard to get there, right? And it was Joni Mitchell and the Crosby, that stash, Freudian slip, I guess. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, right? And all those people, they wrote all those songs together, you know. Like Joni Mitchell was like the hub. She was the original Rat Pack, if you will, of Lauren Bacall. She wasn't Rat Pack. I'm just saying, like, that's an analogy that ties them together. Like, that was the meeting place. It was Joni Mitchell's place, right, where they all wrote those songs. And none of those people, you can never play their songs. You can never. They're untouchables.
She was
right?
like Grace of My Heart. That song. What's her face? Carol. What the fuck's her name?
Channing? Not Carol Channing. That's
Carol
sorry.
King Cole or whatever.
Carol. Carol
King. Carol King.
Close. Carol King.
Yeah, Carol King. But hold on. Hey, Ria, I think me and you, I'm not sure. I remember exactly why. If I think it might have been before Epic Journeyman was on the show. I can't remember, or we did it and you weren't here for some reason. Epic. Remember we did that music show about New York in the Brill building?
Oh yeah, we did. That was Wake and Bakes. We did that.
Oh, that's why. Because I couldn't remember Epic. Because Epic wasn't here. But hold on a second. This movie right here. This is a good movie. If you need a movie to watch and you don't have one, this is good. It's kind of about this. It's about the same thing.
A recording contract with McMartin Records to Miss Edna Buxton. Let's give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Nice voice, great song.
Thank you. I'm planning to record my own songs.
Why not make a little money writing songs for other people? This is the young lady who wrote your next hit. Well, she's an original. This is where all the hits are going to be made from now on.
Cutting it off just a little bit.
Stretch it out. Stretch the kid out, guys.
Let me introduce you to a real songwriter. Oh! Denise just did something you'll never do. What? She wrote a #1 hit.
Ooh, #1?
Would you consider writing a song with me? You haven't written a single song since you got caught up with this guy. He's costing me money.
Look,
we're making art. A street lamp signifies the urban condition. Much better. Maybe you two gals could try writing a song together.
Hi.
Let's make it records. Let's start.
Some folks know about it.
Jay Phillips, the one on the guitar. He's the brains behind the band and the wizard behind your next hit. Okay, stop! Enough! Is everything all right? Because I need you to really pop this thing. Like, really give it a...
See, man, first of all, this is a really good movie. Second of all, look at all the people that they used to put in a room to make a fucking song or a record. Look at this shit. And now, look at it. Look at all these people in here. Look at this.
Is everything all right? Because I need you to really pop this thing. Like, really give it a...
I put myself out there, and they didn't want me.
What's it gonna take for me to get you to see your spark? That's my girl.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Now, who was she supposed to be now? Was she Carole King?
I think so.
I don't remember who she was supposed to be. But it was a good movie. But no, how all those hits came out of the Brill Building, and then you had the Motown thing. That's what it was, right? We talked about the Brill Building, and then you talked about Motown because, you know, you went there and tell everybody about that piano story.
Yeah. Well, the piano, the James Jamerson did the bass line for My Girl. You know, the doo 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 doo. He wrote that underneath the piano because he had fallen down drunk. So that's where he landed, and that's where he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, well, when we were there, we had, you know, a little bit of VIP access, so we all took a turn laying down under the piano. So I was in that spot, man.
There you go. All right, now you got reverse on Robert Johnson.
Yeah, I got a little bit of here.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so let's see. This isn't quite the normal way I do it, but this is. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, it says everything is clear now. Give your soul and get the rock. It says, hell cut me to the core. I'm gonna spawn Lucifer. Okay. He takes the smile off your face. Right? And take and then the next line here is I'm gonna take your soul. I'm gonna take your soul. Check it out. I don't remember what that one was. Oh, morphing me now, making me. Morph me now, make me. Right. So he's you know, this is the deal going down right here. Says it again. Morph me now, make me. I think I love wolf. I know some He says, I don't feel sorry.
No, the feeling wolf.
All right, there it is. I don't feel sorry. Yeah, I don't remember what that is. If oh, I don't feel sorry if he puts the force in my hands. That's what it was. I've been sent below, baby. I've been sent below, baby. Give me a piece of that money. Yeah. So, I mean,
There's a couple parts I heard too that you didn't say that were like in between. Like you said, the part that was the second part of the verse. Sometimes you didn't get the first part, and I heard things. Feed the wolf, and I don't want to die. Feed the wolf was early. That was like 2 verses back, and this last verse was I don't want to die. Then he says,
there's a. I mean, the song itself is fairly repetitive, but you know, he's going to spawn Lucifer. Put the
that was interesting.
Put
right?
the force in my hands so I can make some money. You know, that's
what struck me right away was,
and the devil says, "I'm going to take your soul," right? And I smiled when he said, "I'm going to take your soul." So
the music sounds the same backwards and forwards. It's not almost exactly like the slide part, not the other drums, but the slide part, right?
Yeah, well,
it sounds the same.
He also did
amazing, actually.
It's weird.
A song called "The Devil and Me" that's also full of like messages like that. But you know, this was I forget exactly when this was recorded. It was like 1928 or something. So like this is probably one of the earliest known recordings of backward masking or reverses in music. Like this is an old track. Like this is so. You know, they called Robert Johnson the father of the blues and father of the rock and roll. You know, and he sell your soul, get the rock, right? That's what Robert Johnson, that was the line in the song here in the verse, sell your soul, get the rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes way, way back, long before, you know, even the guys in the 50s became the rock and roll stars, right? It was all the way back in the blues from the very beginning of recordings.
I was impressed by the recording, as scratchy as it was. It sounded like it had effects, right? But it didn't. The effects were literally just the reverb of the room and the glass
effects
slide,
were
like the
itself.
top of a Coke bottle.
It's
slide guitar.
It's like flavoring. That was the real sound of what the real effect is, and then they made something that made the thing sound like it was like that.
Yeah, well, you got natural reverb from the springs and the suspension on the speakers and stuff in the studio, and a lot of it had to do with the way it was recorded. I mean, you know, old recording technology, it was done with essentially tin cans and strings. The way old records were made. Well, if you think about the way old records are played, right, through the megaphone with the needle. Right, like if you look at like an old Victrola or something, you know, an analog, non-amplified record player from way back. Basically, the system for recording was that in reverse. So what they did was they funneled the sound onto the wax, and that's what made the records. And then they would duplicate it by, if you ever seen the thing with 2 tin cans and a string. Right, where you play telephone with that. The recording machines actually kind of looked like that. That's why you always wanted the master copy or the first pressing, because
it's the highest resolution one. Yeah,
it was the highest resolution copies, because every time it went down the line and got, fed out, it would lose a little bit. So by the time you got to like the 10th pressing, it wasn't really very good quality. And then that's why a lot of times, especially in the early days, they re-recorded stuff because, and there's multiple
fidelity
recordings.
got lost.
Yeah, because the fidelity got lost from the masters.
And now
the wax recordings didn't last very long.
And now you don't need shit except for one guy in a room.
Yeah, and digital recording, right?
Now listen,
that's it.
Hey,
all you need is a USB stick nowadays.
You remember this movie Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because yesterday, and as Trump got elected, for some reason this movie came into mind, and I was thinking,
They talked about it in Bill Maher last night, actually.
Really?
Yes, it did.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because Michael Douglas was the guest, and they talked about Wall Street.
That is a trip, dude, because I swear to God, last night I was thinking about Reagan, and then I was thinking about this movie, and I was thinking about you know, when the term yuppie first came into play, you know, and it was when it was young up and coming urban professionals or whatever. Everybody was snorting blow and, you know, fucking making deals back then when the economy was hot. You know what I mean? In the 80s. Look at this is where the cutthroat shit came in, is this movie right here. There's a bunch of people who identify with this movie. And it actually, isn't this at the same time as this movie came out? Isn't this the same time as the Menendez brothers shit happened?
Yeah,
around
which
the
has a
same
special place
time.
in my heart.
And now this
my
is
research, yeah.
now that's a big thing.
Yes, he'd like to change that appointment.
Here, hang on.
Bud, you can't go in there. He's in a meeting.
Alex has come up with a really ingenious way for us to... I don't know we had a meeting scheduled today, sport.
I didn't either. I think we should talk, Gordon.
Would you gentlemen excuse us for a second, please?
Won't you come this way, gentlemen?
Thank you, Alex. What the hell do you want?
I just found out about the garage sale down at Blue Star. Why?
Last night I was reading Rudy the story of Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Pot. You know what happened? Stuck his nose in the pot once too often, and he got stuck.
Maybe you ought to read him Pinocchio, Gordon. I thought that you were gonna turn Blue Star around, not upside down. You fucking used me.
Well, you're walking around blind without a cane, pal. The fool and his money are lucky enough to get together in the first place.
But why do you need to wreck this company?
Because it's wreckable, all right? I took another look at it and I changed my mind.
If these people lose their jobs, they got nowhere to go. My father has worked there for 24 years. I gave him my word.
It's all about bucks, kid. The rest is conversation. Hey, buddy, you're still gonna be president, all right? And when the time comes, you're gonna parachute out a rich man. With the money you're gonna make, your dad's never gonna have to work another day in his life.
So tell me, Gordon, when does it all end, huh? How many yachts can you water ski behind? How much is enough?
It's not a question of enough, pal. It's a zero-sum game. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Money itself isn't lost or made. It's simply transferred from one perception to another. Like magic. This painting here, I bought it 10 years ago for $60,000. I could sell it today for $600. The illusion has become real. And the more real it becomes, the more desperate they want it. Capitalism at its finest.
How much is enough, Gordon?
The richest 1% of this country owns half our country's wealth, $5 trillion. 1/3 of that comes from hard work. 2/3 comes from inheritance, interest on interest accumulating to widows and idiot sons. And what I do, stock and real estate speculation. It's bullshit. You got 90% of the American public out there with little or no net worth. I create nothing. I own. We make the rules, pal. The news, war, peace, famine, upheaval, the price of a paperclip. We pick that rabbit out of the hat while everybody sits out there wondering how the hell we did it. Now, you're not naive enough to think we're living in a democracy, are you, buddy? It's the free market. And you're part of it. Yeah. You got that killer instinct. Stick around, pal. I still got a lot to teach you.
Obviously.
Joe Blow. There goes.
Yeah, pretty amazing you were thinking of that as it was being brought up, actually, as Michael Douglas as a guest in live time.
I can't believe that, man.
Real time with Bill Maher. Right. He did overtime afterwards also. And yeah, it's amazing because how appropriate it is.
Yeah. So
transactional aspect. What he just said there about it being strictly transactional is the entire Trump's philosophy. Like that's exactly it.
I
right?
know.
That's kind of the context they're
I
bringing
know.
up.
Because how old was Trump when this movie came out? Because that's when he was that was when he was running around. He was young. He was running around. I think he even went and met with. He might have even went to the White House to meet with Nixon.
He met Nixon. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean he was sort of. He was sort of. just like that character right there in that movie. At that time, I'm saying he was, he was youngish at that time. So I'm sure he identified with that character in Wall Street. Just as a
100%.
dude. Just
No
as
question. In fact, he thought it probably flattered him because the Art of the Deal had come out already or pretty close to that time frame.
You think?
Where it benefited,
look it up. Look
right?
it up. I'm just curious. Look it up. Because I'm just curious only because that idea became a bunch of people's idea of ways of, just being cutthroat and making money.
Before we do, I want to bring up something about the scratchiness of that recording, as high fidelity as it was for the time, because there's something that occurred to me when I was listening to it. And it was that all these paranormal research shows on History Channel, and why is it on History Channel, I don't know, but in these other things, the Learning Channel, are always about, they hear the static in the background of these recordings, and they pick out the speech of the spirits from the static in the background, right? They play it either forward, slow it down, whatever. They hear the things that are in the static. So my question that arose when I was listening to that original recording of Robert Johnson was, I thought this pops in the static was just an old recording, but what if it was a master recording and that static was part of the recording? See where I'm going with this? Like, what if that was actually the voices from the ether coming into the recording? So, yeah.
It's very possible that some of that, obviously a lot of it is just, dust on the record from the
of course, right.
People making recordings for YouTube or whatever.
So you know where the recording came from, right? We're listening to now, but what if that was actually part of the original recording? So I'd love to find that out. So going on, yeah, I'll definitely look into it.
So when I learned,
talking about that movie, are you going to look and see when Trump's book came out?
Yeah. Well, because it was written in 1978, I think, and then it was released, I think, in 1980. My memory serves it correctly. I'll look it up. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yep.
Well, he's been in the public eye for a long time before he was ever president. And the thing is most of what people remember about him is when he's been president or running for president. But they don't remember back in the day. But like back in the day, he was a jet setter or whatever. He was partying with people.
I remember.
Well, everybody remembers his TV show, right? When
The
Apprentice.
You're fired. But way before that. I'm saying
never
before
saw
that.
I just don't. I personally did.
I'm saying I know, but I'm just saying from a public perception before that. He was just like Michael Douglas. He had that kind of hairstyle. He was running around. He was young. He was doing blow.
Studio 54 kind of guy.
Yeah, he was partying, man. He was like everybody else or whatever. Yeah. He was like a jet setter back then. He was like remember that show? What was that show?
Lifestyle, Sufficient, Famous.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the thing, right? And he was married to
Have your dreams.
Right, and he was married to that lady. What the fuck, Ivanka. His first wife.
Well, Ivana Trump, yeah.
Yeah.
Marla Maples.
Yeah. She was kind of like a Zsa Zsa Gabor in a way. You know what I mean? She was just like that character on the fucking Green Acres or whatever. Just like that wife, He had that kind of
exactly.
wife. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It was like he was like not like he is now, And I never really put that together before until tonight. That that character there is kind of. That's kind of what.
So check this out. You're gonna like this. The book, The Art of the Deal, and the movie Wall Street both came out in 1987.
Fucking A, man.
Well, that's when that whole capitalism was running high.
That's what I mean.
That was Reaganomics. That was the trickle down theory.
That's what I'm fucking saying. That's why I flashed
everybody
on
was getting rich and driving Beamers.
That's what I mean. And they had those fucking big brick ass cell phones in their cars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Giving them cancer. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, literally, but seriously.
They radiated the brain. I remember watching a 60 Minutes special, or it was 2020 actually at the time. I remember that show with Hugh Downs. And they were talking about those big brick cell phones are radiating the brain of the people who were using them. And like these rich people were, falling down dead, right? It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, because right now your cell phone puts out 5 watts, but those brick phones, I think they were like 35 watts or something.
Yeah, because otherwise you were roaming. There was no cell towers anywhere.
Oh, that they didn't even work on cell. They actually like latched onto analog phone lines. So, you know, they were really high powered to be able to do that.
Yeah. Anywho. So, yeah, I was tripping on that the other day because I started thinking about how when Reagan came in and they said it was a mandate because he had everybody, all the Congress and Senate and everything together, you know, and he was going to move forward with this whole thing. And it reminded me of that. And then I started thinking about that movie Wall Street. And then just now I was looking at Charlie Sheen. I was thinking, fuck, man, remember Charlie Sheen? He was a pretty big fucking actor back in the day. He did that, Platoon. He was around, huh? He was
him and his father too.
That's what I
Martin
mean.
Sheen was huge too.
I know.
And his brother Emilio.
Everybody hates Martin Sheen.
Yeah, but Emilio Estevez had all the conspiracy theory movie one, didn't he? I mean, really,
yeah.
You know, all the ones relate to that kind of thing, the Stephen King adaptations and the, you know, the Breakfast Club, which isn't a conspiracy, but all these things that kind of hit that level, a psychological level. Like Emilio Estevez, like him or not, the movies he made are all psychological implants, if you will. It hits you at a psychological level, whether you want them to or not. They do, right? Where the realist movies of Charlie Sheen, by comparison, are ironically contrasted by the fact that he's a victim of the very cocaine culture that he amplified in those movies, right? I mean, he was caught up in the realistic aspect of just making money, I don't mean personally necessarily. I mean, the movies were, those movies, except for the, you know, obviously the parodies of Hot Shots or something like that. But when he was making movies like Wall Street, he was making Platoon, these things, he was at the height of his cocaine addiction, right? and it contrasts so well with what the subject matter was, right? To the point where the movie True Romance, when they go to the producer's home, right? Yeah. And they go inside. Actually, it's producer, director, whatever, and where the gunfight takes place, right? And it's just going to be body bags part 2 or whatever. And they have chopper scenes and all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be that's a conflict between Quentin Tarantino and Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone wrote Platoon, right? And the whole scene is based around this idea of their personal animosity to each other, right? That's what that scene is, right? I mean, for people who are kind of in the know of the Hollywood lore or whatever, and yeah.
See? You can just get snapped back just like that, Jack. You know?
Back to the 80s.
I know.
It was a good time. I mean, you know, life was good in the 80s. It was. Everybody was doing well, you know? But,
I can't remember what was the other song this band had? Alive and Kicking?
Alive and Kicking. No, but it was that song. It was from the Breakfast Club. It was the outro song from the Breakfast Club. And I watched that movie on acid, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I watched 2 movies on acid I really thoroughly enjoyed. I'm dating myself here, and it's because you couldn't do drugs in the military when I was in the military at the time, but you could do LSD because it was undetectable. And I watched, the first thing I did was watch Amadeus, which was a fantastic experience. And I watched the Breakfast Club. I thought, this is fantastic. The rest would be great. And then, of course, I had a bad trip watching some like stupid movie marathon where it had a Reanimator and all these horrible movies, all together. Yeah,
There was
not so good.
There was recently a reunion of the Breakfast Club people. I saw it on YouTube. It was pretty cool.
You turned me on. You lit me up like the sweetest cup I share with you. You lit me up. Don't you ever stop. I'm here with you. Now it's all or nothing, 'cause you said you follow through. You follow me, and I follow. What you gonna do when the things go wrong? What you gonna do when it all backs up? What you gonna do when the love comes down? What you gonna do when the flames go up?
Simple Minds.
He married Chrissy Hynde from the Pretenders after changing, or what's it called? Not Changing Pocket, whatever it's called. What's the thing?
When John Honeyman Scott died off.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Guess what? It's 2 minutes till we got to get DFO. So, time's up.
So we've talked about PV guitars.
Well, listen, before you do that, hang on a second. Tomorrow morning, wake and bake, 8 o'clock Pacific. I'll see you then. Go ahead, Epic.
No, I was just to say we covered some ground that we weren't intended to, and it was great. I hope the audience enjoyed it because, this really is. I said last night about people gravitating to the cool house on the corner with the garage door open, where people were barbecuing and having beers and just bullshitting. That's us. And come visit us again. That garage door is always open.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Ruckamere, are you going to be here in the morning?
I will be around.
Don't jerk my chain, man. If you're not going to be here.
Well, I'll make sure you're on.
No, I'm not worried about being on. I'm just saying, are you going to be here? Is what I'm saying.
I can be.
All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Along with everybody else. This has been the Saturday night edition. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.